What's good, fam? Oh man, this thing here. I swear we gonna get this thing up and running. We gonna get it going, get it cracking. I'm up get everything set up, y'all. Hey, we're doing something a little different. Hold on, give me just a second. Give me just a second. All right, yeah, cause we're at the house now, fam. Y'all can tell by up in that corner, like man. We got it on StreamYard. Hey, I'm trying to fix this thing. Last time we did this at the house, it kept crashing. I had to figure out why, because I've done podcasts before. I don't know if I told y'all about myself. I done the podcast before. I was one of them, had the microphone, everything set up. But I was like, why is it crashing? Then it dawned on me I should have went through StreamYard. I just got it set up today, because if y'all already know, I just recently got back to the house. Yeah. We came on home. We left out of LA, fam. We left out of LA. And so by just setting it up, that's why y'all see that little power by StreamYard in the top corner. Don't worry, I had that fixed for next time I'm at the house. But now I didn't want to miss out and talking to y'all, so you're gonna see it for this live. This one. I'm gonna fix it. I'm gonna get it fixed. But we had to talk. But man, feels good to be at the house. Feels real good. And this what's going on, Margaret? I knew you was in here, fam. You always rocking with you. I appreciate all y'all rocking with me. As always. And I know y'all probably wondering, like, what are you doing at the house? It was time to reset. Yep. It was time to reset, regroup, refocus, everything. Your boy, I told y'all I'm working on this. If I had to just name some of my flaws, some of the things I got to work on, protecting myself from myself is one of them. Because I got this like little bit of competitive edge inside of me. And whenever I got my mind set on something, I just go with it and I go with it and I just keep going till I reach that target. And as y'all know, we on the 100K journey. And just like y'all, I'm out there getting it with y'all every day. We out here in these streets. But the problem with it is, if I don't protect myself from myself, I'll still be out there on that road. I would have been out in LA still looking for something. I would have tried to open up gig apps. Y'all would have seen your boy door dashing in a van out in LA. Can you imagine somebody pull up in a cargo van to bring you some Wendy's, some McDonald's? That day, hey, that's me. I have to protect myself. So in order to do that, sometimes I have to tell myself, shut it down. It don't matter where I'm at, I'm gonna shut it down. Y'all know what? 2 weeks ago, I dropped off on a Friday morning. Did the same thing. That's how we got out to LA. We ran out to LA, dropped off, came from Houston out to LA, and I got off and I was like, after I unloaded everything, and I went straight to the low board. You would have thought I just wouldn't have straight shot it all the way from Houston to LA because the sun was up. I'm like, gotta find another load. And then around by 12 o'clock, I hadn't found something. You know how I am being God. Like that was one of them things. He was like, shut it down. Because if I would have found something, I would have kept rolling. And so when I got to LA the last time, because you know that was that Nogales, the LAX run, that one for that 890. If you ain't watched that video, fam, you got to go back and watch it because that was the good one. They started out at 550, the rate did, got it to 600, then from 600 to 725, 725 to 850, 850, I mean, to 800, and then, no, 850, and 850 to 890. That was a very fun one. Interesting. I became a DHL employee. The way your boy was slapping labels on boxes, but hey, you got to go watch it if you don't know what I'm talking about. But even after that load, I dropped it off at LAX and I started searching for another load, even though I was up all day looking for loads, found the loads, went, got it. And I was like, hold on, pause, time out. Go get somewhere and lay down because I have to save myself from myself. And then, you know, Friday came, didn't find nothing, didn't see nothing, lost out on some, missed some. I won't say lost out on some. I missed some. And I didn't miss them because of myself. I missed it because it was for somebody else to have. It was day load. What's going on, son? Nah, son, you big money, man. I'm trying to be like you when I grow up, fam. And Kima, what's going on? What you talking about? Kima 3325. I did something wrong. I probably said something wrong. If I did something wrong, let me know. Because your boy, hey, I'm human like everybody else. But nah. We rocking, fam. We rocking. I know. We coming. But yeah, I had I had a couple things, as always, I'm gonna talk to y'all, fam. Mainly because we get the comments. I answer them as I go. I've already started. If I haven't got to yours yet, please be patient. I not answered a bunch of them, but man, you think when I'm coming home, I say I'm relaxing, but my version of relaxing is a little different than others. Most people think just keep your feet up, sit down, go to sleep, all that great stuff. No, 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 no. Me and my family, or should I say my family and I, if we're gonna talk politically correct, my family and I, we got goals, and them goals require an amount of dedication and work that still got to be done. So I might not be in the van, might not be somewhere else. I get to my bed, get to hang out with the fam, but best believe it's still work being done, not just for me and my family, but it's stuff that y'all have questions about that I want to help y'all with. So I make sure I get that stuff answered for y'all because I want y'all to win. And so after the last load of split, before we get no, 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 let's go back. Let's go back. We're gonna talk about that last load, but we had a fair ask because they're trying to get, I guess, their MC and everything. And one of the questions they asked was, "What is a BOC3?" And BOC3 is basically a blanket of coverage. It's something that you have to have. You have to have to even get the MC. But the only thing is, it has to come through outside agency. And with that BOC3, it's different agencies. Some they recommend the ones in your state cost money. Cost money. Nothing's free. But it depends on which person you go through. And the one that I went through, it was a lovely young lady. She's down in Beaumont, where her office is. And she basically laid everything out to me, told me the prices, explained the whole thing. Like, for example, that's what I told y'all, like when you see paperwork on the FMCSA website, you have to put LLC after your name. I learned that because I just put the name. I didn't put LLC behind it. She was like, no, if you don't put LLC behind it, it doesn't work. It won't work. You have to get it fixed. Luckily, I was within a certain amount of days that I was able to get it fixed without paying the fee. So make sure you put that LLC behind your business name when you registering on FMCSA for your authority. But then after that, to even go active, everybody talks about the insurance and everything and the right coverage. But just to go active, you need $300,000 for vehicle, $100,000 for cargo. That's just to go active. But to get lows, as you know, most. But the other thing, one of those other things, there's quite a few. That BOC3 is one of them, and it's an outside agency. You'll have to either use the ones that FMCSA provides, Google BOC3, but that person has to file that information on your behalf, that blanket of coverage. That's what BOC stands for. And that basically means all of the documents or anything on behalf of your business that comes in has to go through that agent. That's all it is for them that was asking. But man, I see y'all coming in through here. Yo, I see. I say, let me see what this question say. Yo, same guy that left you IG message last night. Fam, I was gonna cover that later, but fam, we post the videos, as you know, the reels that we post on YouTube. The reels also get posted on IG and TikTok to try to help push everybody over to YouTube. Because one, everybody that knows, I know the people that's the fam that's coming from IG and TikTok. If you haven't watched the videos, go back and watch them. But the way it sounds crazy, the way I'm moving, I'm either driving, I'm asleep, or I'm eating about to go to sleep. Or I'm eating while I'm driving. Either way it go until I get like days like today, because that's why we did it. I made sure Sundays were dedicated to y'all. But then even still on those Sundays, throughout the first part of the day, that's when we take all the people that pay for the one-on-one counseling, which we'll get to that. The ones that pay for the one-on-one counseling to do one-on-one, I want to say counseling, mentorship. Let's say development. I like that because I don't like coaching and mentor because I'm no different than y'all. It's just I learned something that y'all haven't learned, or y'all are giving me information to help with what I learned. So one-on-one developing, where we talk strategy, how to get you better. So that happens all throughout the day, Sunday, and then we talk on live at night. So if I wouldn't have just deadheaded home, which I did, I got home yesterday, Saturday afternoon, because I was from California. So the people that are on IG and TikTok, I don't get a chance to sit down and just reply to all those messages. That's why we put the links to get you over to YouTube so that you can get all the information speed up. Because for one, I can't make a video. I probably can, but I don't know how yet. Make a video on IG and TikTok long enough to explain it and go through it. and all that stuff. So we try to get you to YouTube because that way you can get 3 opportunities. You either ask the questions underneath the video you just watched, and we talk about it there. You ask the questions on live, or you also get that information on how to do the one-on-one. That's 3 different ways. Because if you try to think about it, trying to go through TikTok and IG and answer the questions over there in the comments and answer all the DMs, I wouldn't be driving nowhere. I'd just be sitting still. And right now, and I just ain't found time for that. That time might come, but yeah, fam, that's why I hadn't. I appreciate you for leaving it. I try to tell everybody. I made a couple of videos on TikTok telling them to come over to YouTube. Most of the fam do, some don't. Obviously, you got it and you came over, but you'll be surprised the amount of people that don't come over. 1, because they don't want to know, and 2, I'm starting to learn over there, especially on TikTok. It's a lot of smart people on TikTok. They know everything about every subject, whether it's cargo van, cooking, how to build a house, how to work on the cars and mechanics. Like I swear, everybody on TikTok is just so smart. They know all the stuff to all the things. They just some of them comments be hilarious. You know me, I don't take that negative. I just laugh it off and keep going because you're not living our life. I say our life because y'all in this game too. So they think they know what all the rates should be and all that because, you know, they probably went through YouTube University like we. Some people tell you the truth. Some people don't. We try to keep it 100 over here. That's why we talk. So, yeah, fam, that's why I hadn't hit you up. I promise you it wasn't like I'm just blatantly just saying forget everybody over there. That's just why I hadn't got to you. Everything Apex. Man, I feel special over here. Do y'all see that, man? Everything Apex. Man, that's one of the original OGs. I watched a lot of you. If y'all ain't watched Everything Apex video, you got to go see him because that guy there is amazing. He said, question, do you track your overall RPM? Yes, I do. So I hadn't got to that Apex because, as you know, I don't know why I'm even saying that. As you know, when you're helping others, if I just flooded the gates with all the information I'm learning, I might lose somebody or miss some misinformation or get some wires crossed, and I don't want to do that. So what I actually do, I showed y'all how to track your CPM for the whole month. But I also remember that log book I told you my wonderful wife made. I actually calculate my CPM for each load when I'm writing in that book, and I also get that RPM for each load. So when people say rate a mile, remember we talk about like $1 a mile. Well, let's do a quick synopsis. Just a quick one. So if I say $100, if I say my CPM for $100, 30 cents. Obviously, I didn't get that rate per mile for $1. After I subtract the CPM out of that, I'm only left with 70 cents. People still will be like, hey, that's 70 cents. That's your rate per mile. In some cases, yes, if we're talking about the grand scheme, overall things and all that. After that, because we're talking 2 different things, personal expense and business. I normally, because I told you I don't go too deep into all of the things because I want to be fluid with you. I don't tell y'all, like, hey, this is what I spend on food. This is what I spend on hotel. It's other things inside of that. When I stop at that gas station and I go inside and grab a coffee and a bag of chips, let's say, and that takes away. All of that takes away from the money that you made on that trip. So your rate per mile isn't truly $1. That's what you're going there for the business. But after you subtract your CPM and all the other minor expenses that you have to pay, that's when you come down to what you're actually getting rate per mile. So if you want to get higher, you need to raise your rate per mile to get to a certain number. We haven't got that far. Because just how I did that, I probably lost some people. Don't want to do that. So we're breaking it down slowly by slowly. But yes, everything Apex. I appreciate the comment for one, fan. But yes, I do track the rate per mile for each load. We're going to go through and break all that down as we get towards the end. And I teach you how to do the rate per mile because I even seen one video. I think who was I watching? I don't remember who I was watching. But a gentleman thought that his CPM was $2 a mile. It was driving a box truck, which obviously that's not correct. And he was going, well, that's the rate that I go for. And he was thinking, then maybe that's my rate per mile. It's so much calculation that you have to do inside of this. So if you don't worry, stick with me, fam, as we keep going and driving and learning. I promise you. Matter of fact, I might include that in one of the next videos that we talk about how do you get your actual rate per mile, because it's stuff that comes out of that rate per mile that makes it what it is. So after, for the example we just had, that means your rate per mile after everything's said and done might be 70 cents, might be 60 cents. It all depends on all kinds of stuff. But you got to know your rate per mile to know if your business is making money. But only do the gross side of things. They don't do the net side of things. I want y'all to be profitable. So if I only tell you the rate per mile for what you get, but I don't explain how to take the deductions out of that to get the true number, you might just go off of one number. So if I just said your rate per mile is $1 and you don't take everything out, and you think you should be making $1 to pay all the bills for the business and pay yourself, you're obviously going to come up short. But we'll talk about that. We'll break that one down in another video where I can write down the formulas and all that and put it up in the screen so we can tell you. But again, everything Apex, man, I appreciate you for even tapping in. Hey, one of them OGs in the game. Let's see who else we got up here. Nah, JSA, I'm just doing what I can. I appreciate y'all for even be here. Fun with Fendall. I like that name. I need a long haul to catch up on the last. So I'm not the only one that listens and I won't say why, but listens to videos while you're driving. You'll be surprised. The podcast, the videos, the learning, everything Apex one of them that you listen to while you're driving and grabbing information and learning. But yeah, fam. Navi, how do you add your deadhead miles, fixed or variable rate? So those are variable. My fixed rates are the things that I know. So based on right now today, my fixed rates are obviously the van note, the insurance. I added in because maintenance is normal variable because it goes up and down. But one of the fixed that I add in is the oil change because at this moment, since we've started, I've been doing an oil change once a month. So that automatically gets added in. And then after I've done a few months, because you know me, I always go high end. I added the gas into the fix as well. So I added in 3,000 that goes away every month. That's automatically fixed. So in case we have a slow month or a month that's off, or in case I don't feel like driving for a week or two, it's gas already set aside. That's already fixed. I've explained this in another video. I did the fixed variable on the high end in the past when we set offside of the major maintenance, like a engine or a transmission, because everything else falls under that. So that's already set aside. So we did that. But for the deadhead miles, those are variable. Those change because of the simple fact I can run and run and run, and then I can have days like just the other day where it's like, no, I'm going home. But that's where that 3,000 that I put in fixed in because I haven't hit 3,000 yet in gas in a month. But by that variable being there, for when I did hit home variable, that $200 and some dollars, 220 or something like that, that came out of the fixed cost, I don't see it. It doesn't bother me because of the simple fact it was already put away. And think about it, if you're always putting away something on the positive side, the higher end, guess what happens? It just keeps building and building and building. That's why I told y'all in a few videos back, as we do all this and you're making the money, don't be balling out on your cargo van money. If I told y'all that one of the videos, just because you get to the end of the month and after you paid all the bills and you're sitting there with like 3,000-4,000 left, do not spend all that money because as we continue to learn about this cargo van game, I'm gonna teach you the business side, but in the business side, because remember that's what started this 100K journey. First, we got to make the business make 100K. Then we got to make it where you get to the point where you're putting 100K in your pocket and the business is still making money. That's why I said don't be balling out on it. Go have fun, enjoy your life, spend time with your fam, do some fun things. But like I said, if you run a whole month and you make 10,000 gross, but after you net and take away everything and you left with $5,000-6,000, don't just ball out on the 5,000-6,000. Start sitting to the side in the business expenses. Right now, in this part of the game, we're not really paying ourselves yet. Yeah, we're taking care of bills. I know everybody's money structure is set up. So if you got to pay the house note, pay the electric, all that, I get that. The leftover money is not ours at this moment. Do a little fun stuff. Go out to eat, go out to dinner. Don't do like that young lady on TikTok and then just go pay $15,000 for a Disney cruise for the family. Don't do that. Don't do that. We're not there yet. We are not there yet. So that money that's extra, after you do some fun stuff, because I want you to enjoy you out here working hard, set that aside so when that time comes and I explain how we go to the next level of where we're putting 100K in our pocket a year, it'll make sense. But right now, don't spend it all. But yeah, so yeah, Andrew, you're right. The deadhead is always variable. And the only time I will say this, it's always variable, but I added into when I said that gas, that 3,000, that's because that dead gets added in because I understand this cargo van game. We're not like the box trucks and big rigs. Like you might drop off somewhere, but that doesn't mean that you're necessarily going to pick up in a 5-10 already. Y'all say that you can either sit there if you want to, but sometimes it might take you to shoot out and go 100, 150 miles, go grab something because loads might not be where you are because you might not be in a place that pushes out a lot of loads. So when I do that, that gas gets added and mileage gets added on to whatever I'm going to pick up. So say I'm sitting still, I find a load that's going 300 miles, but say I have to go 100 miles to go get it. That means that 100 is going to get sucked into that 300. I'm going to make that a 400-mile trip. And then that's how I do the at the end of the day, when I told you about the rate per mile, when I do the deductions and all that to get the rate per mile for that particular load, that $100, 100 miles gets sucked into the 300 miles for a 400-mile trip to get that particular load, if that makes sense. So that's why it's variable always, deadhead. But when I'm putting it into a load, I make sure I separate deadhead. So at the end of the 100K, or when we hit it, we go and say how we got to the 100K, then I can explain like this is how many miles we deadheaded to get through this 100K. This is how many miles loaded we did. That's exactly how I'm gonna do it. So I do separate it for the purpose of when we hit 100K, and we go back and talk about what we did deadhead, what we did loaded, what we did gas mileage, and we bring it all together. Then we'll cover the CPM for that stuff. So because CPM is like it's an ongoing thing. It's by a load, it's by a week, it's by a month, it's even by a year. Because that's how you got to know what you're averaging. The reason I say that because when we get there, when you figure out what it takes to make 100K doing this, we're gonna have to reevaluate the CPM and the RPM so that you'll know that hey, we hit 100,000. This is me giving an example. Say we hit 100,000, but it took between all of our fixed and variable costs for our CPM. Say it took 30,000. These are not. I'm just giving you numbers. Say it took 30,000. That means we made 70,000. That means whatever that time frame, whether it's 10 months, 11 months, 12 months, if it took us the whole year to get to 100,000, I'm giving y'all a bits of how to put this 100,000 in your pocket as we build. Say it takes 30,000 and you made 70,000 a year. So in order to get to the point where we're putting 100,000 in our pocket, we need to know that, all right, we need to start building a $30,000 nest egg so that we can put that away for the business and continue to build. That's why I told you we're not balling on the money yet that we holding on to. Stack it. Because when we get to that point and I explain it, I don't want you to look up and be like, well, BG, you didn't tell me. And I've been out here having a fun, man. I've been taking trips and don't do it yet. We're not at the point yet where we're building, but we're balling out money. And I see so many people why their business don't make it because they're enjoying the money, but they're enjoying it a little too much. And when it's time to start paying stuff, because it's a van, man, anything can break, anything can go wrong. You have to be prepared for that. So in order to do that, we got to first get the business to a certain amount. We got to first get our emergency fund to a certain amount. We got to get our maintenance fund to a certain amount. We got to get our gas fund to a certain. You see where I'm going with this? And so in order to do that, we get bills, but we got to stack this money. Don't ball out. Go out to eat. Go down the street. Don't do what I did. Don't do like me because I almost stopped when we was out there and I ran to Vegas. Mark just helped me. I almost ran up in the Vegas casino. We can't ball out here because I was too close. And I passed casinos all day. I was just gonna see if the stocks was gonna work out for you. But don't worry, I didn't do it. Again, we're not balling out on the money yet. But yeah, that's why. Let's see what's going on. I've seen a couple of questions now popped up. That's the variable rate. Yep. Hey Jay, appreciate you, fam. Hey, they back there, man. But that life, it was fun. It was great. Time to move on. But hey, everybody that's joined, that's did the military, appreciate all the support. We support our troops. Thanks everybody for their service. I appreciate everybody. Just like it is what it is. Navi, are you using high yield savings account for the putback funds or another type of compound interest investment? Navi, I'm being 100 with you. No, not now. Now we just got it's of right now the way our life is set up. I'm doing this. This might sound crazy to some. I'm keeping two things separate because I've told you in multiple videos. My family and I we're actually straight. We're good. Like we don't have to do this, but I want to. Me and my wife, we sat down and we want to build something for the future for the kids. Whether they want it, they don't want it, don't matter. But it's gonna be there because we are in the position that they don't necessarily have to get it out the mud. They can go chase all the dreams they want. We just talk to those, found a business that anybody can do. If you want to get into it, it don't have to be OTR, it can be local. So for them, if they want it, like I said, they can have it in the future. But I'm going to say the way this cargo van business has been, I'm building it as though I have zero, like I have nothing. So yes, if you have it, you're available to do the compound interest and all that. High yield savings account, those are amazing. It keeps the money out of the sight, out of mind, however you want to put it. We're a little more disciplined. We keep stuff separate anyway. But if you want to do it that way, that's a great idea. That's something that's projected for the future. But as we're doing it, I'm literally, and it sounds outside of hotels. And I'm not, I told y'all, I'll take naps in there if it ain't enough time to go somewhere. We got the air mattress. We got all that stuff. One day I'll show you. We got all that stuff. But outside of hotels and every now and then, because I'm a foodie, I'm eating all that. Outside of those two things, it's getting built as though it's zero. Like we don't have nothing over here that's taking care of. We're doing it that way. So the reason I say that, and I told you to hold on to the money and not just have like you balling out, is that money put away too, so we don't see it. So yeah, that answer that. That's why we're doing that as well. Let's see. Do a full breakdown. Andrew, explain. Tell me what you mean by full breakdown. Just for the business or the money? Navi, you say paper or digital law for your amount of trade. I do both. Well, yes and no. I don't use an app or anything because we pay for it, but believe it or not, like I just told you in the beginning, the StreamYard, I don't, it ain't even got nothing to do with y'all. I don't mean to look at the little bird. So all that kind of stuff costs. Like setting up the thing so we can do a one-on-one, that costs. Like little stuff, that kind of stuff we're doing out of pocket because we want y'all to get the information. But I don't app. I do it paper law. I'm old school. As soon as it pops up on the GPS, I write it down. As soon as I'm dead, write it down. So if you're going somewhere, write anything. Keep all the receipts. Those get scanned in. We keep all the files so it's electronically because I guess you could say manually put it in the computer, but not an actual app that tracks it because it's still old school. I just don't do it. I'm pretty sure all kinds of stuff doing out there. On this route, on my authority ages, that's being closed. And hardly ever conversate for that. That's it. That's part of the growing pains when you're starting this. There's gonna be times where stuff just isn't paid for, like just said, like just True just said. Calculating that they don't pay for those deadhead miles. We don't get paid for those deadhead. Now, if you're booking something, you're going, depending on how you, because some brokers I have told them like, hey, I can get it far away, and I've added a couple more dollars in there to cover me going to go get it. But it doesn't always happen. Don't expect it to always happen because let's be honest, they're paying for the cargo to go from here to there. They're not paying for the cargo for you to get there. Then the cargo goes there, and then you to go back home. So yeah, it's like that, especially when you're working for a courier service. But like just you just said, that's a great idea when you're starting out. If you don't want to gig that route, find you a courier. Remember I told you that a couple of lives ago. Find somebody that doesn't make you run exclusive because if you run exclusive, then you're not able to have your own insurance. So to let your authority mature, because you have to have that insurance active. That's that 300,000 I was telling you about. Till it matures, and once it matures, you can shoot it up to that million and get on up out of there and do your own thing and not run under the curve. We gotta, yep, Andrew Green, you're right. We gotta clear the 100K plus the 30K. That's where I was going with that when I said the business has to make 100K before you make 100K. Because I know in some people's mind we do it. I've seen it. I've done it. I've done it with another business we had, where I figure I am the business, so it's money is in my pocket. No, you're separate entities. So Andrew, you're right. You gotta to get the 100K in your pocket, you gotta be 100 plus the 30, like we talked about. So it'd be 130K, but it's a little bit more. It's one or two more steps that before you get the 100K to go in your pocket. The 130 is what you have to do to get the 30 to put aside. But we got other stuff we got to cover to truly run the business, how the big businesses that you see are running. Because if you just continue to just think that's a good starting point, get the 30 in your pocket, you keep the 100K. It's two more steps after that. And we're going to get to that, man. We're going to get to that. Let's see. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. I'm trying, man. Like I said, learning the transportation. We got you like you see stuff behind me, but we got the degrees, we got the back and forth experience through military. The biggest experience that I got wasn't even the degrees, and it wasn't even the different positions I had in business and uh, C-suite leadership in the C-suite. That's the CEO, CFO, CEO. Like military has certain things like that. It's called Air Military NCO tier, senior NCO tier. When you hit the senior NCO tier, you have the opportunity to get into certain positions where you're up there with the commanders, the chiefs, like in those positions, which will be considered like a CEO, a C-suite exec. And so I've had that, got to see those behind the scenes and contracting, but that wasn't even the best experience. The best experience is when my wife opened the daycare. That's where a vast majority, because you get the applied knowledge, a little bit of the hands-on, and then you get to dive straight in because she was getting it out the mud. I was just the backup support system. That's all I was. When I say had to do some partnership thing, because my wife, she's always been the entrepreneurial spirit. She has all that. Her and my oldest son, they're the greatest. That entrepreneurial spirit, that creativeness, that's them. So that's what kind of drove the degrees, because she was the entrepreneurial force, and I'm the person with the numbers and all that. So I was like, I need to go learn this. So I went started. That's what started the associate's, bachelor's, master's. Like that's what started all those programs to go find that information to make sure we had the paperwork and I guess you would say the business side, the ones that they look for on paper, to go learn to make sure that we didn't do anything wrong outside of all the amazing creative ideas and entrepreneurial stuff that she had going. That's how we got it. So yeah, just passing on the knowledge, and we just learning it in the cargo van side to help people along that route. That's the whole purpose of this, because as you know, we see all the crazy stuff, uh, all the crazy stuff that people put out there, and it's like you have that background, that mindset. You're like they're lying. People are eating up. Like I'm not even gonna lie. I told y'all when people be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do this and I'm gonna make a course," and I'm like, "I don't need a course. I'm gonna just make YouTube and just tell everybody." But I'm learning why they made courses. I learned why they have PDFs. I learned why they write books. And it's nothing against fam, because y'all hear lie. There are actual people out there that don't want to go back and watch load number one and catch up to today. There's people out there that don't want to take notes and each video. Some people actually want you to make a book or a PDF and give it to them so that they can read and reread and highlight. There are people that actually want you to do a course that breaks down every step, that's only talking about them and not all the motivational fun and all the laughter we have while we out there doing it. They literally just want a facts-based course, and that's it. So we're gonna give it to y'all. And y'all don't, I told y'all once before, you know about nothing. You can just watch the videos. We talk about the same thing. There's gonna be stuff added as we learn and stuff that ain't included. But yeah, that's what we're gonna do. All lines. Can you talk more about the insurance? What's exactly you want to know? So you have to have 300,000 car van, and it never made sense. I think it's a scam. 300 for the vehicle and 100 for the cargo. That's just to get your authority to get the loads from the brokers. The vast majority. I haven't, unless you're doing. Okay, let's go back. The vast majority on the load board, they're going to want you to have that $1 million insurance, 100,000 cargo. I've even seen some that said 200,000 cargo. Obviously, I just moved those because I'm not finna go get 200,000 cargo coverage just one broker. But if you're running like with like you get independent, direct courier and all that stuff, like if you go find somebody, most of the time they're not worried about your vehicle insurance. They're worried about if their cargo, their freight that you're moving for them is secure. So you can still get away because you still need the MC. You don't want to stop that, because if you start it again, the aging process starts all over. So you don't want to do that. But you will be able to drop it down to the 300,000, 100,000. So you should be able to still move any of that stuff if you get a direct courier. The reason I said that is because technically by law, you have to have insurance, commercial insurance, to move that stuff. To be quite frank, you have to have commercial insurance by law to even do gig apps. Most people don't really talk about it, but you need insurance for that. I'm talking about the regular gig apps. You can know VO, all that. And I'm not gonna lie and make it sure like I had it. I didn't have it either. Because I remember I didn't know at that time when we started VO and then Amazon Flexing and all that stuff and GoShare. I didn't know that. I learned that after we got on this side with FMCSA and started looking. And you literally have to have commercial insurance to move anything like that for commercial goods being paid and all that stuff. So they don't really tell you that because I just assume we're as good because like Vigo would take like a certain percentage. It was only like $1 or $2. Remember I told you that out of the pay and say it's for insurance. But if something actually really, really did happen and police were involved and an insurance company was involved, you would really need commercial insurance. That only covers so much. That's enough to cover VHO and all them different companies. It doesn't actually cover you. So you technically need commercial insurance to do all that stuff. I don't know if you need it for DoorDash and all the food programs. I didn't look that far because by then my mind was away from like the DoorDash and Uber Eats. It was more so on the moving freight kind of thing. And so I know with all that other stuff like you need it. So I don't know about DoorDash and Uber Eats. Y'all have to tell me about that one. But yeah, insurance, you have to be more specific if you need me to go a little deeper in there. Not me. No, it's not Buc-ee's on the West Coast. Man, okay, I think I'm gonna see if I can put this up. If I can't put it up right now, I'm gonna definitely put it up in the community because y'all know your boy and your Buc-ee's. I don't know if you're able to get this. Let's see if I can move this in just right. Y'all see that? Buc-ee's, 1,327 miles. That's the sign that you see when you're leaving out of California. And best believe I drove all 1,327 miles. And when I got back into Texas, we got Buc-ee's, baby, right outside of San Antonio. So, yes, I know what a Buc-ee's is. Matter of fact, if you're going through Arizona, there's one that says Buc-ee's 900 and something miles and puts a little U-turn sign that tells you to go back. So, yes, there's not no Buc-ee's out there. Buc-ee's. You're putting the one up in Mississippi on I-10 I need you to go out there and holler at them because when your boy out there, you gotta have some. What's your caffeine of choice? So I'm more of a coffee slash amino acids kind of guy, but I do it sparingly. Like I don't just sit there and chug coffee all day long. Back in the day, and that's because back in the day when I was doing military, first base was Charleston, South Carolina. From Houston to South Charleston, South Carolina, normally it's like an 18, 19-hour drive, but that was young BG. Young BG did not care about traffic law. And I was mashing the gas in that Ford Explorer I had. And we was going. We was getting there about 14, 15 hours. And it was on nothing but a 12-pack of Mountain Dew. I would get a 12-pack of Mountain Dew, put it in the seat right behind me, and I would just be reaching back, cranking the thing open. So it used to be Mountain Dew. Obviously, that's not good for you. So no, it's amino acids and coffee. And it's like because some places be cold. So it depends. Let's see here. I live in Phoenix, and my question with you living in a big city as well is pretty easy to find a load in your area to start the week back off and how. So Houston, it sounds crazy. Well, this is my personal opinion. I find it harder to get in and out of big cities. You know, it's easy to get in, it's hard to get out. Because there's more people there, or they just go fast. People take rates that most people normally wouldn't take. It also is a lot of the big cities, they have rates that are keeping you in the city. And you know, if I know you know my formula, 500 to 800 miles. So once we get somewhere throughout the week, we want to be doing 500 to 800 miles. If I wanted to go out to Atlanta and get stuck doing 200-mile loads all day, I just would have stayed in Houston. Because you can stay, believe it or not, if your goal is like $300 a day, you can easily stay local. It's been a couple times, y'all even seen it. If you time it right and do it right, where if like, for example, you pick up Houston, drive straight to Dallas, you can pick up a load in Dallas going straight. And it's like that for a bunch of big cities, but that'll put you right at $300 to $500 a day, depending on if you can grab two. But the reason I said that 500 to 800, because y'all know we're doing 100K and we can get there. And I just like seeing America, so I ride around. So it's not hard getting into the city, and it's not hard staying local if your city is one of those local cities. That's why you see me deadhead and be like I might be in Atlanta, and then I'll shoot like 100 so miles to get something else because that one more thing. Remember the time I was right on the outskirts of Atlanta, we shot up 170 or so miles or something like that to VA, and the VA load took us all the way across to I think it was Arkansas or Louisiana, one of the two. I'm getting them mixed up, but that was that 500 to 800 miles, and it gets you there. So and I don't mind driving, so it all depends. So it's not hard to get in. It's figuring out how to get out. You know anybody running fire? No, I don't know anybody running firearms. I have picked some up from the airport and taken them somewhere, but I don't know anybody running firearms. I've been a Class A driver for 7 years, driving semi trucks, cargo van, operator business, new to me. The videos were different. Hey, I'm glad we blessed, man. That's all we're trying to do. We've been blessed in our life, and we just want to be a blessing to others. This is just one of the easiest way that we talked about and found that we can be helping others. Oh man, I know everybody be so I can tell the difference between the people trolling and different people, the people that are like straddling the line. Like, are they trolling? Are they being negative? But it's hard to take it as a negative because I'm gonna find the positive in thing. I thank God. I'm not even complaining. I thank God for my mind because they believe I used to do the negative thing, but my stress level is on the floor because I don't see the negative. I'm gonna find a way to make it positive, whether it's fixing something, helping somebody, helping myself. I don't care. I'm gonna find it. Let's see. Correct. You're talking utilizing the state commercial insurance requirement for. They're basically the same thing because if this is for Texas, I didn't do the research for other states. For Texas, you only need the DOT. The DOT keeps you in Texas, and you don't really have to have a C. But the problem with it is you almost need to already have a company that your companies, because one won't work. You need to have companies that you're working for or working with delivering their thing. Because if you only do one and you're putting all your nuggets in that one basket, and if something happens to that company, now you're out again. But for DOT, but then again, you only need the DOT because here's an example. If you're just into the moving furniture business, or I've seen people that have become like bought their own bus and done like the tourist thing, because if you believe it or not, you have to have that information in order to like have those, when you see those tour buses or party buses or anything like that, they have to go through FMCSA as well. And so when you're doing that, you have to have that information. So when you think of it that way, and I promise you, for Texas only, it doesn't do a difference because you still have to pay the same amount of money for to get the DOT. The DOT is free, so you have to get the MC to get the DOT. That's only for Texas. I don't know about the other states. So you got to go look that information up to see what your requirements are for your particular thing. Do you think it's worth the okay to get started and then let my authority age and then in 6 months change? So I wouldn't necessarily say changing in 6 months. What I would suggest is you let it. If you're trying, because this is one of them, you got to be dedicated before you just say I'm gonna do this. That's why I always preach research. That's why I always suggest gig apps. That's always also why I say work with a courier company. Unless you just flat out know, because you've done this before. You drove around in the states, you moved packages. Like me, I was already in the military. I done this. I loaded planes. I offloaded planes. I drove stuff in 18-wheelers around the base. I was one of the convoy drivers when we were deployed. Like I've done this, so I know what it takes. Like I was the one that used to be in the warehouse driving forklifts, offloading trucks. Like I understand all that, so I knew what I was getting myself into. But if you already know, then yes, you know for a fact, like yes, I want to do this. Then I do suggest go ahead and get in the 300, run it under somebody. If you have the capital to where you don't have to run under somebody and you can sit there and manage the local, you might be local. I don't suggest starting out if it's day one and some broker says I like you. You're good to go with us. I know you stay in Florida. I'm gonna let you run out to California. Don't do that because then you're gonna get over to California and you don't know if somebody or the new authority out there is gonna let you go somewhere else. So if you're gonna do that, I suggest staying local if you're in a big enough city that has that kind. Like if I was starting out and I didn't have family backing me and I was doing it, I would do it that way because I know to find stuff around Houston, Dallas, San Antonio, Austin. Live in one of those cities. So yeah, I suggest that if that's what you know for a fact you want to do. If you don't, I suggest get, like I said, gig app courier to get your feet wet, know what you're getting into before you just dive straight in. We're talking about you. Yep, you're right, Navi. It's in the TOS for most gig apps. Ooh, y'all got buckets coming to Arkansas? Might be coming up there a little bit more. With a brand new MC, will dispatchers work with you? Dispatchers will work with anybody. They want your money. They gonna try and call you all the time. The only problem is that I've seen with dispatchers, if they don't already have their own connections, and when you're running with some of those connections, this is We were going to talk about that, but let's jump into it now. That's where that double brokering thing comes in. So sometimes they have loads that come to them and they'll double broker them. So they might not mind it because they just want the freight move because they want the money. They don't care. Then there's those that, and you'll know those because they'll be like, hey, you're picking up here. Tell them your name is this. That's when you know. The other part of double brokering, and this is, I'm giving y'all research that I had done already. How that works out. So the bigger companies, I don't know why I have my opinions on the smaller brokers and the bigger brokers. I think the bigger brokers are up to something. What I've been noticing, because they already have their lanes. What started that low board from when I did my research, once they get so many lows, they used to like put them down so other owner operators can get them. That's kind of how that owner operator outside of working for a big company kind of started. Something like a Amazon Flex. Amazon has all these loads, all these packages, and they're not able to get enough drivers and people and employees. So part of the government's rules, if you didn't know this, is that they're supposed to pay and offer so much money to small business owners and people in the United States to give them those opportunities. That's why you see small business loans. That's why all that stuff happens. So the big companies have all these loads that they get from customers, and then they slowly peel them off to the smaller brokers. That's kind of how that double brokering thing comes out. You'll notice that because you'll know the name of a company. I'm just giving names. This aren't the people. Like a Landstar, JB Hunt, or something like that. They have their own MC because they have to have their own. But then when you get emails and phone calls, mainly emails, and you see the signature block for those emails, they might have a different name and a different MC. That's a double broker. So same with dispatchers. You probably can work with them. You'll have to vet them to know if those are dispatchers that get loads coming in, that they got enough volume and enough connections, that they either know big companies that they can get those loads from, or two, they already have some direct shippers that they know and they're going to send you on those direct shippers. But that's a dime a dozen. You have to do the research to find those individuals and work with them. If not, you're going to be looking at the same dispatchers that are looking at the same load boards, whether it be Selected, DAT, it's so many load boards out there, that they're looking at the same load boards. Only difference is they're able to look at the load board while you're driving. So while you're driving, while you might be sleeping in the day and they know when you're going to wake up or know where your next destination is going to be at and what time you're going to get there, they're able to find those loads for you while you're going up. That's the main reason for it. So, yeah, you have to vet those dispatches to make sure that that's how that's going. My wife did our LSC, started still looking for right ProMaster. Yep. I can't wait, son. I can't wait for you to get out here. I'm ready for you. Hey, I'm telling you, if I get up there, hey, when I get to Arkansas, they dropping buggies. I'm definitely hitting y'all up because I'm coming to lay on y'all couch. Come and go. Hey, they could change the name. Yep, you know about that. That's true. You in Atlanta, I promise you gonna win. You in Atlanta. Atlanta's one of them cities that, if it wasn't, so I'm blessed saying Houston, Dallas is the number one for us out here. Los Angeles is like, if I wanted to stay in California, I can run all over California. California eats between California, Phoenix, and Las Vegas. I'm not saying Nevada, Las Vegas by itself. One day I'm gonna sit down and we're gonna do that. I'm gonna write them all down, and I'm gonna name you to let you know where I've been going. Where the hot cities, of course, it's only the Midwest and the southern regions of the East and the West. I haven't been to the northern regions of the East and the West, and I most likely ain't going because I have no reason to go that far unless somebody pay me something. But I'm gonna sit down one day and tell you those hot spots between the Midwest and the southern regions, because some just hit better. Like here in Los Angeles, that West region, that California, that Phoenix area, and Las Vegas, eating. You're in Florida, Florida, then Atlanta goes crazy. So you'll be good. That's true. You out there, you good. Hey, Jay, appreciate you, fam. hey, I like the blade. That's a blessing, Jay. I appreciate you, fam. I'm in the Midwest, and then you in Indiana, you're gonna be good. Most of the best money cities alone. So Indiana, the Midwest, northern Midwest, outside of like the Chicago's, the Cincinnati's, the big cities, the St. Louis's and all that. Remember, I told y'all like the last live or the live before that don't look at the map of the United States and take it as general because it really isn't as far as you believe it is. So when you get to the northern Midwest, like Indiana and stuff, most of those places are within a 500-mile or less radius. You'll be surprised. Don't let the map fool you. Like I showed you, we went through Missouri, Indiana, Kentucky. Like it was a 3-minute across the bottom. I just did like this. It's the same as Louisiana, Texas, and Arkansas. That's why they call it Texarkana, because they're all connected. But when you get up to that northern region, like the Chicagos, the Ohio's, Cincinnati to be exact, Toledo's, even all the way down to Nashville, Tennessee. When you get to those places like that, it's like a 500-mile radius. So, man, if you get in Indiana and you get in the game, you got like a 500, 750 max. I'm saying 750 max because to get from Ohio down to the bottom of to the top of Florida, like Pensacola, it's like 700 and something miles. I'm saying 750 max because we're going in the circle. So to get you over to like Missouri, St. Louis goes off. And from where you are, that's like 300-400 miles. It's not as far as you think. I'm thinking anything with a passenger requires a CDL. Are you talking about for a cargo van? Because you don't need the CDL thing isn't a requirement for cargo vans, even if you got a passenger. Yep. See, hey Woody, you see that? Andrew telling you, you're in the gold mine. You'll be surprised how much stuff runs up out of down here in Texas, runs up there. I'm talking about from mine, sitting here watching, even from no matter what coast you are, a lot of stuff runs up to that area, all the way to like the PAs, the Chicagos, the Indianas, the Illinois, even the Wisconsins. Only thing is about Wisconsin, South Dakota, and North Dakota, a lot of stuff runs to there, but nothing comes out. But you are in the gold mine in that circle that I just told you about. A lot of stuff runs up in there. Let's see. I think that has a section for new authorities. Yeah. So I don't know if they have a section for new authorities, but I do, and I didn't even think to get that. I'm gonna have to remember that, fam. I promise you, I'm gonna try and remember because normally I'm on the road. But when you sign up for that as a new authority, they actually give you a list of brokers that actually run with new authority. I always tell you, like, because I never remember them all. Like when I told you TQL is like 1 day active. But they actually give you a list when you sign up of brokers that run with new authorities. I'm gonna find that list and get it to y'all, let y'all know, so y'all even have an idea of what you're getting yourself into. Yes, the one you're right, Andrew. Those double brokers, some you won't get paid. That rate cut is is necessary, but you got to understand. That's why I tell y'all to make sure when you're looking on the load board, because you don't have to. It's just they have that blue check mark. Make sure you factorable. That's why I stick with open people like who you run with. So that board and OTR, like they run hand in hand. So OTR Solutions, that blue check on the DAT board means that company is factorable with OTR Solutions. That means they've done enough business with them. They're trusted. They get the money to OTR because what happens when I told you the way factoring works is you send the paperwork, and if the factoring company approves them and they are good to go, the factoring company pays you and they get their money on the back end. That's that net 21, that net 30, that net 7. Every company has their different nets. I've ran for companies that had net 21s, but the most you normally hear is a net 30. I've seen some extreme ones that are like net 60s and net 90s, but those are normally those super huge companies, and like every 60 to 90 days, whoever they're working with. The government is one of those. The government is actually on some, for those that don't know, we'll get that out the way. The government is more on some 12 and 5-year payments. Like if you're a small business and you set it up like so, they allow you to choose, you can set it up like that monthly and all that stuff. But some of those businesses, depending on how you sign up, if it's a government agency, which we haven't got to that because I still have to do a little more research before I try to teach you about it. We're going to eventually get that government contract. I'll teach all that when I figure it out. But yeah, like when you do government contracts, they'll sometimes pay half up front, pay the half at the end. Sometimes, depending on who you are, they pay it all at front. Sometimes they pay you once a year, but they have so many variations of government contracts. But yeah, that's how that pay works. So when it comes to that OTR Solutions, because they work with that load board, that's what that blue check mark means. So if you run with OTR Solutions as your factoring company and you use that load board, they have a button on there you can click to say factorable, and it only shows you people with blue check marks. So even if they are double brokering, because some big companies, now I told you, send those to the smaller companies, smaller brokers, so that they can have it and make some money. Because by law, they're required to give opportunities to small businesses. Some of them might have the double checking, then some of them have it, but they're not double brokering. Some of them are actually a subsidiary of it. Like one is Landstar. Landstar has a bunch of small ones all underneath it. TQL has a bunch of ones that are based off of region. So they might have look like different, but they are assigned to TQL under that region. So it's hit or miss. That's why I use the dat load board with the blue check. It makes it easier. It alleviates a lot of stress from me even trying to figure it out. But if you do run with somebody else, factor with somebody else, and you see something on a load board, you can, certain factory companies, I know with OTR Solutions you can see them on a different load board, look their MC up in OTR Solutions, even though they might not be on that. Look them up in OTR Solutions, and OTR Solutions will tell you if they pay. So if you factor with somebody else, ask them if they even have something similar where you can put the MC in or call them and verify or something to make sure that that person is good to go, that you'll get paid. So check that as well. Let's see. The double brokers yet. Are you never late to the party, fam? Hey, as long as you show up, the party ain't started till you get here. When you have to do a manual labor or something that's not negotiated, how do you come up with the pay? So I remember I told y'all before when we did the load that was picked up in Dallas, went to Louisiana. For me, if I got to do some manual labor, remember I told y'all I did this a long time ago because I'm a numbers guy. I found out exactly how much it costs for my time for the hour. So what I came up with in this business, like if I got to touch something to like do some extra labor like that for this cargo van, it's gonna cost me 50 to 75, depending on what it is. That's because normally you only have to do it once or twice for that load, and from the Galileo to LAX, I was gonna have to do it pick up and drop off. So that's why we got to the 125. It's basically 50-50 plus the extra $25. And then when they did the shipping labels, that added more to it. So it's one of those things. Your labor cost is your labor cost, but it also, I know you hear it all the time. People be like, I know my worth. I want you to know your worth. But let's be reasonable with that worth. You can't say we got a load that costs $500 and be like, I know my worth. My labor costs $750. That don't work like that, fam. You can't just tag on $750 because you say I'm finna have to fit some stuff. So keep it within reason. Know exactly the parameters. Like I said, you can use what I use. I use 50. The same way if you ask for the TSA, the TSA and the Quick. Normally, they get away with one twig. I ain't worried about it because the Houston airports, they don't even ask. I know that. But if I'm somewhere else, you say TSA twig, I'm gonna need another 50. So that's just how my mix 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. And if you get crazy, I'm gonna jump it up to 75. I only use that. I got the fam, they got select this every now and then, but I normally find it on that. It's been a while since I got anything from anybody other than like a couple times, like one time from Phoenix to New Mexico. A dispatcher got me that load. But it's been like 2 or 3 loads. Most of the time I'm finding on myself. All my fans just have to be looking, and I might be doing something else, and they say, hey, I found this for you. It's going here, there. And I'd be like, appreciate it. I'm only walking out the door. So that happened a few times as well. I'm Atlanta and the bushes in Florida. Yeah, you got work. The only thing about Florida is box truck heaven. It's partial heaven. They give out a lot of partials, so you just got to figure out which one's going to work for you. Partial heaven is basically a place that one of them cities or states, because Florida is partial heaven. Like they move a lot of partials all around. The reason box truck heaven for Florida is because they're not set up like the big cities. They have, Miami and all that. So they don't have a lot of loading docks and forklifts. So they need the people to take the stuff off. New York's kind of similar. They need you to need the box truck to have the lift gate, take it down, move the pallet inside the business. That's what makes them box truck heavy. Cargo van heavy somewhere like Atlanta, because they got cargo vans. They got the means to get stuff all around. So that's cargo van heaven if you're out there. See, I got a list and I signed up for factoring. I'm telling you, they give you lists. Getting cargo van this morning. My LLC down there. Texas. This is a good. Yes. Yes, McKinney, Texas is an amazing area. Dallas is gonna go live. You don't have nothing to worry about, fam. You don't have nothing to worry. Do you got a list of the brokers? So I do, but the problem with it is, it's on because okay, I didn't tell y'all. I never told you. I might cover it in another video. If you're not, when I say do research, research doesn't just mean looking back. It means looking forward. Uh, I mean forward, looking forward. You get when you get these lows and you got the Raycon has the broker on it. It has their phone numbers, sometimes their email. If you aren't keeping track of this, like I got a running tally of ones that I've run with. I've got phone numbers. Uh, Matter of fact, there's some that they got my phone number. They call me and be like, I had one call me just recently. I was in Phoenix, and he called like, "Hey, are you able to get to Delaware?" I was like, "Nah, I'm too far." He was like, "I just wanted to make sure, see if you was in Delaware." I was like, "Too far." I had the one I told you when I was in Phoenix the one time. Called me and said, "Can I get to Colorado and run a load to Atlanta?" They will call you if you do a good job. That's why I tell you that professionalism. You have to have that professionalism. Speaking of professionalism, I'll give you one because fam has asked about how did I get the TSA certification? There's multiple ways to do it to get a TSA certification. And so I was able to get mine because, I had worked with a broker before and he needed something moved. And so he said he needed TSA. And I was like, I don't have that. But the good thing about it, he happened to be an IAC person. So IAC is let's go to this. Indirect air carrier is how you get your TSA. So there are some brokers or companies that are big enough and they have enough drivers that they need to be able to keep and get their people TSA certifications because you have to redo it. They get them redone every year for those big companies. And so instead of having to always send their person out to go get it, they get the ISA certification. Did I say that right? Yes, ISA. Let me go to my phone. IAC. They're indirect air carriers. So they are able to get that, and that way they can give it out. So I was blessed enough to run across this broker, needed somebody, but I had already worked with them. They were professional. They're professional in business. That's how you talk to people. And so because they had it for their people, they issued me the test, which is the what's it called? STA, Security Threat Assessment. Boy, I'm losing my mind. STA, Security Threat Assessment. It's a test that they give. It's like 10 questions. You have to pass that test. Once you pass that test, they're able to issue a TSA Cert 9. That's what we're at right now, TSA Cert 9. And so you get that, and that's how you get the TSA certification. Outside of that, you have to go find your own person, which normally is places that issue the TWIC card and all that, some of those places like that. Or you can go on the TSA website and find out if those ones in your area. But that's what you have to do. You got to go through them. You got to take a test, and that's who issues you the certification for your TSA cert. It's a little more into that, but you have to dig into that for your particular state. Or if you run across that broker that needs it or has it because the company is big enough and they have people inside of that company that can issue out that test. TWIC card is just going to your local place because it got to do the fingerprints and all that. You have to have a TWIC card before you get TSA though. You have to do that. You have to have that first. As far as the most user-friendly board, I only really look at the that board. I don't even because I didn't pay for the Selectus. I didn't pay for nothing else. My fam that has other stuff. The dispatchers obviously have multiple ones because they're looking for you loads. But the success that's been coming this way, don't get me wrong, we're eventually gonna get it. It's just no use in me paying for it yet because the authority's not mature enough to even run out there. Like I still can get those local ones, but for certain people that I've already done stuff for, but to go out there and say I'm gonna go get it and pay for it, and they still got this, but they still have the same requirements. It's not even worth it yet. But when that time comes, don't worry, fam. I'm gonna let you know so I can tell you what it looked like. $1 million, the most you need for insurance to make sure you can get loads for the brokers. You're trying to run from Texas out of these, Kansas City, Missouri, Illinois, Oklahoma, back to Texas. You won't have a problem. Just make sure you add Louisiana to that list. Louisiana and Arkansas, because if you're going to do Kansas City, Missouri, Illinois, and Oklahoma, you can't leave out Louisiana and Arkansas because 9 times out of 10, you most likely got to go through them to even get to the other ones. Like, yeah, you can get to Dallas and all that, but like you're gonna cross through Arkansas for the most part to get to some of those places based on the map. So if you go to Illinois, it's gonna cross you through some of those places. Very well regionally. See, Marcus is on it. Woo, telling you, Illinois, Ohio, Michigan, PA, New York, Kentucky. Yeah, you're gonna eat out there. You in Illinois, you're gonna eat. You don't even have to go nowhere. You probably have never touched California, Florida, unless you want to. I like want to, so that's why I go somewhere. Uh, it's just a tool to connect with here to make or should I hit the road? I don't know those, Rich. So our suggestion is hit the road because that's what I'm doing. I'm not just running out here to be running. I'm running out here because I'm learning as I run. I'm one of those hands-on learners. So I have to go to certain places. I have to see it. I have to go through it. I have to remember I told you a couple lives back. I've never been that person where somebody just gives me stuff. I have to actually go do the work and figure it out and go through it. That's how God made me. That's what I'm gonna go do. So I go through it. So that's what I'm doing for a couple of reasons, but that's some future advice. That's some future information. But yeah, that's why I do that. Get the one on. Tell me all the information. You taking over the Midwest. You have. If you don't know this, if you don't go in the mindset that you've taken over, I promise you, when you out on the road, if if you doubt anything, you're gonna. I'm not even finna lie. You can't doubt yourself. If you don't believe in yourself, it's not gonna happen. You gotta believe in yourself. That's why I always try to drop them videos with like motivation and nuggets in it because I believe in you. I know it's possible. That's why I'm running all around. So when y'all telling me all these places y'all are at right now, except the northern, east, and west, I haven't been up there outside of military stuff. But for this business, I have not been up there. So I don't know that. But when you tell me you're in California, you tell me you're in Phoenix or Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, Tennessee, Illinois, Michigan, like when you tell me in those places, I've been there. Like how Just True said she's in they in Atlanta. I know Just True gonna win because Atlanta's gonna win. It's like Woo, when you say you're in Illinois, you gonna win. And everybody in the comments is telling you why? Because they've been out there, they live out there, they know you're gonna win. And only way to make that true is if you believe in yourself. So if you don't believe in yourself, you're not. Andrew, Florida is terrible for box trucks. Yes, let me go over that right quick because I found this out recently in LA. I don't know. I have my opinions because how far they are away from everything. Getting those is not the problem for Florida or LA. No, I told you, Florida's a box truck heavy. Box trucks everywhere. You can it's lows out there. I don't know if it's because of the competition, but the rates, they're not friendly. You're gonna have to do some talking, know some people, pray about some things. Like you're gonna have to do something. But the lows are there. You just got to get them up off of those rates. I told you when I was in LA, they had rates that'd be like one pallet. And they'd be like, we'll pay you 150. And I'm like, to do what? Drive it around the corner? No. We need to go out here. And they flat out told me, we'll just wait for somebody else we can give it a partial to. I'm like, dude, 150 for 1,800 miles is like not even 10 cents, 11 cents. But they getting somebody to move this stuff. So yeah, it's stuff out there. But that's why I always tell you, it does not matter and believe in yourself because what's for you is for you. I told you the lows in Cali that. Remember, I told you it's 150 for those going nowhere. I wouldn't put them. I don't know who throwing them on the back of their truck, but whatever. But I didn't get some of them lows because they was for somebody else. Because that person believed in themselves that they gonna win. So that's why I tell you, believe in yourself, you gonna win and you gonna carry the game. I'm not even worried about it. I'm with you, Tony. You need some more ATL contracts. Y'all don't know who Tony is. Tony is he can talk all that knows he wants to. I see your videos, Tony. You killing. I can't even. I wish I can like him more than once. But yeah, you cool. Hey, get you. If you get some ATL contracts, Tony, you let me know because I want to come out there with you. I'm gonna come get them with you, and me, you, and True, and whoever else out there gonna go eat. Let's see. When you run down the carrier, we need the contract if we try to pitch business to the sugar. Yeah, don't do that. Like I tell people, I told y'all in videos, I got the business card. So normally when I show up somewhere and I'm talking to people, hey, here's a business card, especially around the Texas. Obviously, I'm not doing that way out in LA because I don't live there. It ain't no use in handing out business cards because I'm not going to just drive out there and just run in LA. around my area, my local area, here you go. If I drop it off somebody here you go. Even if it's somebody that got questions, here you go. Because we make videos. And I told y'all about the QR code on the back of your business card. We talked about that already when we was talking about working on the branding. So yeah, but don't do that if you work for a carrier. I don't suggest that. You might get back, you might not have a job. I don't need you doing that. Yeah, Andrew, the rates, I'm not in. So this is the crazy part. That's because Andrew said rates in California are terrible, especially with those gas prices because they high. I am a firm believer, and I know it doesn't. It just doesn't. I know what I'm saying, but if it doesn't make sense, I promise you, it makes sense to me. When it comes to rates, it's like anything else in business and in life, but we're talking business. Some business just is not for you. It's just not yours. There's some people, no matter what business you try to do, they're not your client or they're not your customer. They're not your business partner. Like it's just certain people that rate is not for you. But best believe, I know some of them. I talked to some of them. I've had brokers. I've had one broker that flat out said, I give these rates like this because one, I know what the driver needs, and two, I don't have time to go back and forth. They've said it. So and I told you I'm on a mental spectrum. With every positive, there's a negative. With every right, there's a wrong. With every even, there's an odd. So just because it's bad rates and they're looking horrible, there's also good rates. Because if it was all bad rates, everybody would be out of business. Now there are, because you got to think, you're gonna say it's bad rates. There's good drivers and bad drivers, and some drivers make the race bad, and some brokers make the race bad. It goes back and forth. It just depends on how you look at the situation. Don't go out there and take the bad rates. If you want a load just because you see it and it's rate bad, that means the load might not be for you. That means it's time to go on and don't waste your time. I told you when I was filtering out the board on the DAT load board video. The reason some of those filters, and I only went into the surface part. I haven't went into the one part where I was like, that's not a load for me. That's not a load for me. So that I don't even open it. I don't even have to look at it because there's a difference between you're at 80 cents a mile and me negotiating you up to $1 or 95 cents versus you're already at 33 cents a mile coming in. I'm not even finna waste my business acumen or my negotiating power to try to get you from 33 cents up to $1. It's not even gonna happen. I probably wouldn't even get you to 90 cents. Delete, remove off the screen. That rate ain't for me. That rate's for somebody else. Because best believe, like one of the fam told in one of the comments, like down in Laredo, when y'all say it's so hard to get out of Laredo. Well, based off the information he got from another big truck driver, and again, I don't know this. I'm like the third wheel on this. I'm just going by what the comment said. Y'all can go back and read it yourself. Down in Laredo, because Laredo is actually in Texas and Mexico. It's in both. And there are people that can just cross over the border, get the load, and go back home. The cost of living in Mexico is a lot cheaper than the cost of living in Texas. So if a broker puts a rate out 50, 60 cents, they possibly can come across and get it and go do what they got to do and go home. Why? Because they might not have a good band payment. I don't know the insurance requirements down in Mexico. I don't know none of this information. I have no clue. But they CPM could be 3 cents for all we know. That's exaggerating. I'm just saying. But that individual that picked it up could have a CPM that's on the floor. But yes, we don't know. So they can take that rate for 40 cents, 50 cents. I don't know what their cost of living is. Everybody's living situation is different. There are people that watch these videos that we make and look at me and say, I can't do $1. They might have to stay at $1.50. I don't know your living situation. So yeah, that's what makes rates bad. But that's why you wait for rates for you. Because that means that load ain't. Have you ran for TQL? If so, what's your experience? It sounds crazy, but my experience with TQL is amazing. I know it sounds crazy. And I hear people complain about TQL from box truck 18. I hear them complain all day. The reason I say my experience has been great is because the ones I'm calling are the lows I'm catching. TQL offers $1 right out the gate. The ones I've come across. Like I've had those ones that say 80, 90 cents and they're able to bump it up to $1 or $1.05 or $1.10. But out the gate, they give me $1 out the gate. That's what I'm saying. What's for you is for you. Those people that don't like TQL and don't get stuff from TQL must be for me. They might be my best friend because they get me going right out the gate. So I have no complaints. I've had a TQL or two that just would not budge because remember I told you TQL is a big business, but they have some that's based off of region. But I told you the region I stay in. Mid southern parts of East and West Coast. Teacher has been doing wonders for me, so I can't complain. Uh, man, hey, don't worry. I know y'all say them new Jersey streets are horrible. It's not just Jersey. It's like they're down here too. We got them too. Don't hey, if anybody in Houston, no, ride on that 288. It's a portion of I-10 that's between Phoenix on the way to California and coming back. It's on both sides of the highway. I ask myself every time I drive through there, who is in charge of this state for this piece of highway? Obviously, it's the middle of nowhere, so there's no city around. So I'm like, it has to be a state thing. Both sides of the road, fast. It's only two lanes, fast and slow lane on both east and westbound. Horrible. So don't worry, New Jersey ain't the only one. We got street problems everywhere. The best streets I think I rode on, if you're on that 5 going north and south in California, certain parts of 20, not the part that's in Louisiana. No, not that part. But certain parts of I-20, even certain parts of I-10, once you get past all of the crazy stuff. But yeah, it's bad out here for everybody. And Andrew, I know TQL horrible for box trucks. My boy tell me all the time. All the time. Fam, I don't see no more questions. Hey, we've been rocking. Hey, this is probably long. We went over an hour today. Again, man, I appreciate y'all with all these questions. I know it's Sunday. I got y'all up way past y'all bedtime. All past your bedtime. Fam, I forgot who it was. I'm finna tell you. Hey, we're gonna talk about it because I don't want nobody because I know that person probably. I don't want to leave this person out. Hold on, just a second. Hold on just a second. Where did it go? I want to get everything with this individual straight. Where did it go? Because we don't want to leave nobody out. Come on, phone. Hey, I told you I ain't forgot about you. Because I had a one-on-one scheduled today, and I'm gonna cover the one-on-ones too. I want to cover that too because I don't want y'all to miss out on y'all opportunities. Let's see. Levon, hey, I was waiting on you today. I missed you, fam. I was there. I don't know if you forgot on the times or whatever, but hey, go back to the email. Levon know what email I'm talking about, so don't y'all try to be emailing. Levon, go to the email, hit me up because let's reschedule, do something like that. For the ones that want to know about the one-on-ones, let's just put them up. We're gonna make sure they get on. They're in after every video. We put them in the description. I'm gonna put it. It's gonna be in the description on this one. It's basically you're going to a calendar. You're gonna schedule yourself. It's $25 for 30 minutes. I told you, just that simple. That's all day on Sunday. If you go once we put the link up, you'll see, and you'll be able that it'll be in there for you to go ahead and schedule a one-on-one because I told y'all Sundays are all about y'all. It's all y'all. Like that's what I make sure I'm sitting still on Sunday because all morning, all afternoon, it's a bunch of 30-minute slots in the morning versus a bunch of 30-minute slots in the afternoon. I think it stops around like 4:30. They start around like 9. So from 9 to 4:30 minus the hour lunch break. Got a 30-minute session set up for y'all. And then we go live on Sundays. Hey, I answer questions as we go. That's the 3 forms of the best way to communicate and get all these questions answered. Because as always, I love hanging out with y'all and talking to y'all. Listen, follow the pair and the contract, 80 cents to $1. This dispatches be offered. Hey, Rick, I want you to understand something. When you're starting out, it's like anything. Because I don't want you to have this false sense because I've seen so many people. I know you're not thinking like that, but this is for the people that are just not getting in or just wondering. When you're starting out with that carrier, your payment, your money might be low. You might not get that $1.35, that $1.80 lows. We got it. It might be between 80 and $1, maybe even 75. There's 18-wheeler drivers, big rig drivers. They're out there running for 50 cents a mile. Like you're starting out. You have to build that capital up. That's why I said so you can start building your MC so you can branch out and be the business owner. Everybody just can't come out there and say, "Hey, I'm not gonna worry about my life and my bills." I still do that, so that's why I said, and you're gonna start with uh, those numbers that are just not gonna be friendly to what you hear on social media. But I'm gonna tell you, my man is truth. Do not believe the people. If you see them come on social media and they're telling you in a cargo van, can't speak for nobody else. If they're telling you in a cargo van that every single day, or 3 to 5 times, or 3 to 4 times a week, they making $2 and $3 and $4 and $5. If they have a direct carrier, that's something different. They pay totally different. If you're working directly with the shipper, that's totally different. I'm talking about the people on this load board. Any low board. I don't care if it's selected. Selectors pays very well. It's another one that pays very well, but it's not coming to mind. But every single load ain't gonna be $4 or $5. If that was the case, nobody would be on nothing, and they'll just be waiting on that. But no, you're gonna have the great loads. You're gonna have the loads that cut right at it, but just don't take the ones that are just the 150 for 1,800 miles. That don't make sense. Can you add the county link? Yes. Let me see. Are you down there? Let me see. I think she just added it in there. If not, we're gonna if not, we'll make sure again. Can I add it in there? Hold on, I can. Hold on just a second. I'm gonna do it right now. I'm glad y'all said something, fam. Y'all want it? Hey, I'm here for y'all. Give me just a second. Let me get over there and I can get it for y'all. And I'll put it in the chat for y'all. See, that's why we're working together, because I didn't even think about it. It'd be right here on the computer. So give me just a second. Let me see. Copy link. Paste. Enter. There y'all go, fam. I just put the link in the chat so we can get on calendar. There y'all go. Every Sunday for y'all, fam. I will have to. I'm not gonna forget. I wrote it down. Brokers list. I wrote it down. Does anyone have a mechanism low boards for a beginner? I don't have all of them. I got a bunch in my phone, but a bunch of them you gotta have. Most of them you have to have the MC and all that stuff already active, and it's still, even though we talk about the DAT board, the low board is still asking for they on all the boards. When I talk to different people, they're all having the same requirements. There's some that do right away. There's some that 3 months, some that have 6 months, but the general consensus, the majority is a year. I even seen a couple that want 2 years, and but yeah, but the general consensus, no matter which load board you're on, they all want those same type of requirements, and you got to understand they want them because they got to know you know what you're doing. Not you, fam. We know you know what you're doing, but for the most part, everybody signs up and they just started giving those out willy-nilly. Most people don't even know the acronyms we talk about, let alone what problems you might run into. Because remember, we've run into problems since we've been running on this road. And when you run into a problem, you have to know how to fix that. Most of the time, them brokers are asleep. The shippers are asleep. Like, you see us, we drive at night sometimes. Like, every load isn't around the corner that's going to be dropped between 9 to 4. Like, you got to know how to move around, how to get things done, how to make things happen. You got to understand the paperwork. Like if a broker just call you, I give you one. We talked about it before, and they say, "Hey, send me your COI," and you like, "What is a COI?" That broker doesn't need to work with you because I'm being innocent. I'm a business person. How can I trust you with something if you don't even know what your certificate of insurance is? You don't even understand. Not y'all, fam. I'm just saying if you're talking from a broker's mindset, you don't even understand that. But yeah, they have them. I know they do. I promise you, I know they do. I just don't know them, and you have to look at it from the outside. There's some out there, but you got to know. I haven't started, Andrew. I haven't started the Discord yet because hey, we just got going. I just got back to the house. For the Discord, I'm gonna have to do that. That's most likely gonna be on Sunday as well, because that's the day I know I'm sitting still. And we'll set up something there so we can do it every Sunday and just top it up however long it is till we get through talking. Like, do you have someone handling more business than you are? Or are you handling all? No, I'm handling all the business. I got a team of me, my wife, and my fam. My wife handles all the videos and all the posts. Like, you think that stuff easy. It really ain't. She's handling all that because I'm sending her all types of videos. She handles all the posts. The fam, I work with him obviously because that's what I'm running under. Andrew, hey Andrew, hey, don't be leaving me out. Leonard, 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 I want the link too. Leonard, what we doing here? Hey, if you have a Discord, put the Discord in the chat. We fam over here, fam. We support everybody. We're not just here to talk to me. If you got information and you got a Discord event, especially, drop the link in the chat. We on the way. It ain't no one man show over here, baby. We work together. We watch with each other. I watch the videos. Hey, if you don't subscribe to the fan videos, go watch their videos too. But drop the link in the chat. If you have a Discord and you got something going on, I'm talking to you, Leonard. Leonard, put it in the chat. We on the way. Tell us what days. Do y'all do you do certain days, certain time frames? We on the way. Let's type it up. That's what we here for, fam. I'm all about supporting. I'm always winning together. Hey, you got a Discord? Come on now. I don't know how much it costs a month. Got a couple dollars over here. We can come rock with you. Let us know, fam. Put it in the chat. We on the way. That's what it is, man. I'm gonna give you a few minutes, Leonard. Come on now, Leonard. Don't be having us waiting. You got us amped up over here because we like to learn. I'm just messing with you, Leonard, but for real. We like to learn over here, fam. The only way I think we can grow is if we grow together. My mentors, my dads, my granddads, they said it a little different with a different couple words. But my fam, my mentors, always said, hey, if you want to go fast, go by yourself. If you want to get there at the top and stay for a long time, you got to go together. I don't know about y'all, but me and my family ain't over here just making videos and talking to y'all because we're trying to go along, trying to be at the top with all of y'all. And the only way we're going to do that is if we go together. Don't worry, Leonard. I was about to end the thing, but I'm a slow roll it a little bit longer just for you to get the link. No, I'm just messing with y'all. I'm just messing with y'all, man. I'm just playing with y'all. But nah, anybody that got links, if you got a YouTube channel that you out here getting it in, it don't even have to be cargo van business. You're doing any kind of business, any kind of personal development. And I say that, let's be real straightforward. There's nothing wrong if you do reaction videos. There's nothing wrong if you do vlogs. I'm not talking about that. But we over here on this side over here with the Grand Fam, we are on personal and professional development. So if you got a business or if you're doing some type of personal development, professional development, whatever it is, you teaching us something. Hey, let us know. We coming over there to support you, fam. We love supporting fam. So if you got something like that, go and drop the YouTube channel in there. You got the Discord, drop the links. That's what we're all here for. We're here to help each other, help support each other, get to the top. Because I promise you, it'll never be lonely at the top if y'all rocking with me. I'm gonna be over there with y'all. You're gonna be my family, your family, their family, all the families. We're gonna be at the top together because everything I learned, everything I know, I'm gonna share everything. I don't care if you teach me. I'm gonna go research it some more because I'm a rabbit hole diver. You tell me something, I go down a rabbit hole so I can understand. So I can help you and we can help each other and we can grow together and get to the top together. That's what it is for me. And that's all I do. What is needed inside of the vehicle as far as paperwork in case DOT. So I kind of touched on that before, but we don't really have requirements if you go by FMCSA. So the insurance, because I remember I told you commercial insurance. But how FMCSA looks at us, they don't even really look at us as a commercial vehicle. Everything has to be 2,000 pounds or more. It's really $9,999. We don't even fall in that category even when we have freight. So unless you're doing some crazy driving, since I've been riding, I'm not saying it's not a possibility because everything is possible, especially if you just get pulled over on a general traffic stop. But everywhere I go, I haven't even seen a van pulled over unless they did some general, even when I'm going through the border, the inspections, we pull in right behind the cars. We don't be over there with the trucks. And even still, like I know everybody probably, if you haven't seen it, that video circulating around about the guy that got pulled over and had all that El Chapo in the back. That boy was moving it. Hey, he was moving it. I'm gonna let you know right now, fam. You got to pay attention to context clues. That if you base it off of context clues, why they pulled him over, knew where to go, they were already watching him. They were already watching him. They knew if they wasn't watching him, they was watching the people that he picked up all the El Chapo from. They was already on that boy. It had nothing to do with he was just a regular old guy and running the MC and picking up cargo and freight. Nah. It wasn't because of that reason. So when you don't let it panic you like, oh, I'm picking up freight and it's in a crate. What's in this crate? Open it up. If somebody puts something in the back of old Chip and I'm rolling and the police pull me over and find out I got that El Chapo in that thing. If I got that Pablo Escobar out of Texas, Best believe when I got them charges, I'm gonna own the trucking company, I'm gonna own the dispatching company, and we all gonna work together because I'm gonna have a new dispatching and trucking company, and we gonna move that work together legally. So nah, fam, nah. That one that got that pulled over with that weight, you saw the boy. Police pulled up. He looked like he was already done. He looked like he was back there messing with the El Chapo. So no, fam. With something like that, as far as getting pulled over by DAT, yes, it's a possibility. DOT, it's a possibility. Anything's a possibility, but for the most part, not even an inspection test. They're not even looking for us. But for me, I keep everything because I told you I operate myself like a box truck just in case. Like I take the medical physicals once a year because I just want to know for myself. It ain't but like where I'm at, it ain't but like $60. I keep the insurance. You got to keep your BOL because you get pulled over, they want to know what you're moving. Just operate like that. I get vehicle inspections. I don't necessarily go to a tent, DOT tent, and all that, and all police officer. I mean, and get them to do an inspection. But like some people, at least in Texas, in Texas, they did away with the inspections. I still keep all the inspections. If I did any major maintenance, I just got a little binder with my stuff in it. So you can do that. It's up to you. How you want to do it, but the van is really all. It's no different than my Navigator. Like everything's the same. The oil change costs the same. It actually gets better gas than the Navigator. It's actually cheaper to replace the tires. Like it's just what you want to do. I didn't see anything. It might be something. If I'm wrong, y'all tell me. I didn't see anything that has special requirements for us because we don't have LD logs. We want to keep it that way. Don't nobody out there be messing up what we got going. We don't care. But no, it's no real requirement. So that I know of. I might be wrong. I probably just didn't run down the right rabbit hole yet. So if I'm wrong, y'all tell me. Let me know because I'll direct me to the rabbit hole I need to go down. The Black Empire. If y'all don't see them, fam, go back to them. Everybody run over there. House Power Expedite LLC. Go ahead and rock with them. I'm definitely gonna go over there once I get off the live. The thing is to redo MC. Yes. When you do your MCs, they automatically. It depends on your state too. Certain states have different requirements. They enroll you in certain programs. You have to call and get yourself out of that program because they just going off MC. They're not reading into your stuff. I know for Texas, like I forgot the name of it. It's some type of safety. They also have it in Georgia. It's like a safety compliance thing. I forgot the exact name, but they automatically enroll you in it, and you get a million phone calls. And if you don't get certain things done by a certain day, they deactivate you, and the police can pull you over. Not the MC for FMCSA. They just deactivate you in their system, and because you didn't meet the safety requirements, you have to go look what I'm talking about, especially if you're in Texas and Georgia. I know it's in those two places. Yeah, when he passed them P's, it was a wrap. Quick, after the regular inspections, because Texas, you gotta get this. Back then, they just passed this law. Before you can get your registration ticket, you had to go put it through the inspection. They went through the make sure the emissions, the lights, the general stuff that you have to have. And they went through and made sure that stuff was good before they even started. Before you're able to get approved to get your registration sticker. Now, I'm still in the county in Houston. It's Harris County. Like I'm still in those counties where you still are required, but in certain parts of Texas that it's not required. And the reason I say that because I told you about the United States, don't let it fool you. But all this driving around, once you get out, and those of you that know what I'm talking about, you get it. When you leave out of major cities, the rest of the United States is almost living the same. It's little small cities, population be 20, 30,000, some be 9,000. It's not these big metropolitan areas that got, like I'm in Houston, we're in the millions, but some of these cities that you're driving through, the top population be 200,000-300,000. They're not as big as you think they are. And so when you look at it from that standpoint, you'll understand that as you drive through the rest of the United States, it's mostly land. People living on the land. It might be a little small town, a couple hundred. So those restrictions change. Like I know out in California, everybody should know emissions. So it all depends. It all depends on where you're at, where you're coming from, where you're going. That makes a difference for your inspection. As far as me, I got to get the inspection done to even get the registration sticker. I just keep it with me every year because that means it's for a year. And they know the general, like tire changing, all that kind of stuff. But outside of that, I don't do really much major like a box truck and 18 wheel because we don't have those same problems. Like, they can get pulled over if they miss a mud flap and get a point and get written up and get points against their stuff. So no, we don't have all those qualifications. Like I said, they don't even see us so much as a commercial vehicle. But either way, I digress. I'm not gonna go down that road. But man, fam, we've been rocking. And we just, hey, I'm not even gonna lie, we hit a new. We hit a new. I've been watching your boy talk for over an hour and a half. And that's the longest we've ever been on. And it's the most fam that we had tuning in with us. Man, fam, I'm always doing. So throughout the week, I'm going to keep answering questions. The ones that I see pop up the most, that's the ones we address like we did the TSA earlier. Those are the ones I want to dive into a little bit more when we on the live. And don't get it twisted. I'm still going to go down the rabbit hole a little bit more so that in way on one of these videos, I can actually give it to you with the TSA. One of these videos where we can do what we did for the CPM one. I'm going to do the RPM and put that up so you can see how to calculate that. Just best believe we're doing step by step because I don't want to lose you in the process because this is a little different. All business is business, and I don't want to lose you in it as we're going. So we're going to talk business stuff. If we've talked about the marketing. We talked about the CPM. We talked about the profit loss margin. We talked about all those things. We're going to continue to add on to our steps of building the business so that we can have a full functioning successful business, especially by this end of the year, so that we can go into the next step of where your business is supposed to go. Because I don't want nobody's business to be like typical business that fails in that first 1 to 3 years. I forgot the exact percentage, but it's high of businesses that fail in that first year or first 1 to 3 years. So we don't want that to be you. We want us all to succeed and grow this thing, not just for ourselves, but something we can pass on to those that come behind us. Because, hey, that's what the Bible says we're supposed to be doing anyway. But, yeah, fam, let's see if I got any more questions that I missed. DLT numbers like the backup. The MC is required for everything. The DLT is the number. Like, think of it this way. MC, DLT, like DLT, I know for Texas, keeps you in the state. You have to look for Florida. But the MC, that's where that intrastate and interstate. That's where, you know what I'm saying? That's where that comes in. Like DLT, I know for Texas, you can run all over Texas. And if everybody knows, like, that's a lot. Because from El Paso to Houston is like 12 hours. It takes 12 hours. I can drive from here to Atlanta. That's the same amount of time. So in Texas, DOT run all over the state. You just can't cross state lines. MC allows you to cross state lines. So that's the whole point of that. But nah, fam, that was the only question that I saw. Keep asking the questions. I promise you. I'm going to tap in and I'm going to answer them as I go. Play catch up as I always do as we drop new videos. I don't know what this week going to look like because I got one of my fam. I'm telling you, fam is moving. Him and his family going to that next level. They about to retire this weekend. So got a fan retiring out of San Antonio this weekend. So I don't think I'm going to go too far. I might stay like local and regional. We'll figure that out as we go. But just believe whenever I know that next load going to, I'm definitely going to let you know. Just know I'm going to let you know when I get to moving. And I saw you just popped up with the MCs go away this October. I'm already researching that because this topic actually came up last year and it didn't happen. I want to know how they're going to make it work because then it's almost like a free for all where everybody can just go run cargo. I'm going to keep digging into it and diving into it, rabbit hole, all that to figure out and keep, because I'm watching it. I've seen it. I've been watching it since last year and they keep pushing it up because I don't know how they're going to do that. Best believe I know one thing: money will be involved. But as I figure it out, matter of fact, I'll touch it with it as I figure out more and more stuff. But I'm definitely gonna let you know what I figure out. No, I don't got is that a Cali number? I can't really see what you say. Did you get a cat? No, I didn't. I got Texas. So yeah. But yeah, fam, I'm not gonna hold y'all up. I know it's late night. Hey, we've been rocking almost an hour and 40 minutes. And as you know, I love talking to y'all, but I'm not getting y'all the whole Sunday so far. Been doing other work, but now it's time to go ahead and go sit on the couch, watch TV, and chill out with the missus. I've been gone for 9 days. It's time to go have fun, chill out with the missus. One kid at work having fun, another kid playing the game. But me and the missus finna go chill out, watch a little TV, catch up, talk a little bit. But no, fam, I appreciate y'all as always. Oh, yeah, you're right. So y'all don't see that question with pop. But yeah, fam, time for me to get up out of here. When I get to moving on the next one, because y'all gonna know when I get the next back. Because I'm gonna let y'all know. Nah, it's Sunday. I hope y'all been listening to the tips because I know somebody out there already got their Friday bag to talk about tomorrow. For everybody else, it's time for us to go get some rest because we got to figure out what we're doing tomorrow to go get us a bag to start the week. So yeah, fam, I want y'all to go get a bag. I'm finna chill with the wifey so I can go get me a bag tomorrow or Tuesday, depending on how I feel. Y'all don't worry though. I'm gonna let you know when it's time to go get a bag. But man, y'all know what to do. As always, outside of getting the bag. Until the next video, until the next live, until the next question and answer, until the next time we chat, whether it's one-on-one or like we did tonight, because we had a fun night. Until then, I want y'all to stay blessed.